Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Live on the iHeart app, it's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Coming up, we talk to Divya Sangram and how you may be committing insurance fraud.
What?
And you may or may not know it.
Huh.
I bet you do know it.
I got to drive the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. I'll give you my thoughts on it. Conrad has the cruise-in calendar, and This Week in Auto History. And later, we talk about a big Veterans Day car show coming up you want to make plans to go to. Cool. Plus, we'll bring you the stories making automotive news headlines. Just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, we always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong, so glad that you could join us on this Saturday morning for our live show. If you're listening to one of our podcasts or broadcast elsewhere that's taped and beaten, then welcome to that as well.
In 40 countries.
In 40 countries around the world. Divya Sangram is with Lending Tree and Value Penguin. Divya, it's good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you for having me on the show. I always enjoy speaking with you guys on a Saturday morning.
And I'll bet you do and do not.
No, actually, I do love it. I always love talking about cars and insurance, and no other better way to spend a Saturday morning.
So when Mr. Mars told me that you were going to be on, I said, okay, what's she going to talk about? And he sends me this sheet of paper, and I'm going, wait a minute. Most Americans say they've never committed insurance fraud, but many employ fraudulent practices to save money.
Yeah.
That kind of it's a wake-up call. Hello, really? Because they are not totally honest with the insurance person that's going to write the policy about, well, have you had any tickets? Well, no, I haven't. And then they go and check and they've had tickets.
Yeah. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? People are lying about their address. They're like, oh, if I give my actual address, I might get higher rates. So let me put down my office address or a friend's address because their zip code has lower rates. That's one kind of little lie that people are telling.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let me make a note of that.
I'll remember that one. Where can we get these zip codes?
Yeah.
And, people are trying to pass off wear and tear or, old accident damage in their current claims. And, we call, that's actually fraud. You're not supposed to do that. You don't try to claim for damages that didn't actually happen during an accident. More horrifyingly, people are declaring their cars stolen to cash in.
Oh, my God.
I believe that one.
I was really taken aback by that because to me, that's very obviously fraud. But, the folk we interviewed didn't seem to think so. They just thought it's a good way to save money. And, in terms of the findings, 91% of Americans we surveyed said they've never committed auto insurance fraud. But then you break it down and you start looking at these money-saving tactics, which are actually lying or misleading your insurer, which is fraud. That number is extremely high, especially among millennials. That really took me aback.
I was just going to say, I know that 39% of millennial auto insurance policyholders admit to using deceptive tactics to save money on their insurance, compared with just 3% of us baby boomers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, where did that come from?
Who taught the kids to cheat?
That was really surprising to us. And we were talking about it in our teams, right? And perhaps a huge part of it is just a lack of awareness that what they're doing is wrong. You think about the way that, the boomer generation has traditionally bought auto insurance. It involves dealing with a person, an agent. You've probably had in-person inspections. So, these people would have taken the time to explain to you how your policy works and what you should and shouldn't do. But my generation, I'm a millennial. I don't lie to my insurance company, by the way, but I am a millennial.
That we know of.
A disclaimer.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you, right?
Well, that plus also I'm terrified of lying. So
Let me ask you, what is the punishment for the fraud, and which state has the most fraud?
So our research didn't dig into which state has the most fraud. It was a national survey, but in terms of punishment for fraud, I think most of us associate fraud with what we call hard fraud, that is staging an accident or burning down something, trying to collect on insurance money. And that is the most serious kind of fraud. You can get jail time, you can get heavy fines for it, but misleading your insurance company is what we call soft fraud. You may not go to jail for it, but you will face penalties. For example, it will raise your premiums.
Yeah,
and we
figured.
all know insurance is getting expensive. Do you really want to do stuff that will make your insurance more expensive? That's the one thing. The other thing is, if the insurance company finds out that you are someone with the potential to commit fraud, or you have defrauded them in some small way, they will put a mark on your file, which means if you try to shop around for insurance, you're still going to get higher premiums.
Because everybody
It's not gonna
knows.
be cheap.
Yeah.
So is there some sort of a pool that you guys go to look at, like if I'm going to switch from Allstate to State Farm is going to look at my record over at Allstate?
Yeah, and they will. So, it's really not worth it trying to lie to one insurance company, because they can find out, and they're getting really smart about it. People who think they've gotten away with it, I just want to say you're not going to get away with it anymore. Insurance companies are spending a lot of money on technology that's helping them identify fraud. There's talk about bringing back in-person car inspections every time someone's applying for a new policy. And honestly, they're losing millions of dollars every year on fraud. I remember reading a statistic somewhere that almost 20% of all insurance claims are fraudulent.
Wow.
Or partially fraudulent. And, in the current environment we're in, you cannot control the climate, right? Climate change is happening, extreme weather is happening, and it's causing insurance companies huge losses. But they can control fraud, and they're going to do everything they can to control fraud and to control those losses.
I don't remember when it was, but it was probably back in the 80s, I'm guessing, that I actually had to take my car to an insurance office and have them come out and look at the car. I don't remember what it was for. It wasn't an accident, but they had to look at the car and to insure it. And
sometimes they take pictures.
they took pictures and asked me questions.
I remember
and,
doing that back in the late 60s, because buying hot rods,
This is 80s,
Mustangs and things like that, the insurance agent wanted to see it.
Well, I can only imagine that it'd be almost impossible to be able to, have all of your clients at one point during the year come to your insurance office to have them inspect your car.
Well, I think some of that, what the insurance companies, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, are using the internet to learn things. Because Carfax is a pretty good database, because if an insurance company pays to fix your vehicle, that gets reported. A lot of mechanical repairs and maintenance is reported to Carfax as well. But, I think insurance fraud is far greater than anybody really wants to admit.
So what she's saying is that we're all back in school, and don't do that. It's going to go on your permanent record. Well, here you go. It's your permanent record.
That's exactly right. Well, I of course, I'm, what am I, 3% of baby boomers. I'm not in that 3% that cheats. And I'm sure that over my lifetime, so far anyway, I've paid a lot more money than most people for the same policy, because I am honest. And listen, I was the kid that always got caught egging the teacher's house or wrapping somebody's house. I always got caught. Right?
Murphy's Law. And the fraud isn't just by the insured person. The fraud is also by the vendor that's repairing the vehicle for the insurance company. So, the body shop, let's include this. This is scratched. So we kind of build the ticket a little bit to submit to the insurance company.
Because they can make more money.
Yeah.
Because they're making more money, and so many of them are what are called pro shops now. So the insurance company trusts them to be honest with them. And are they always? I don't know.
That's a really good point. And I just wanted to highlight one thing about that. So when you go to a shop and they're telling you, let's pad the repair cost so you meet the deductible. That's the language.
Exactly what I was thinking.
And, as a consumer, you may think, oh, yeah, I think that's a great idea because then I only need to pay this small sum out of pocket and then I'll get like a really amazing job done on my car. So as a consumer, your first thought is, it doesn't really affect me. It's just between the shop and the insurance company. I just want to remind everyone, if the insurance company finds out that it's a fraudulent claim and they deny it, you still have to pay for those repairs. And since it's a padded repair claim, it's going to set you back several $1,000s. So It's really not worth it.
And go on your permanent record.
Yeah, because avoiding the deductible is fraud in itself.
Yeah, especially if you're making things up to add to that repair bill. They're going to say, oh, it looks like your tires are a little wonky. Let's throw that in. We'll say that, it got punctured in the accident. And that's terrible. Don't do that. It's best to stay as honest as possible. And if your shop is doing that, I'd say maybe shop around and look for a more honest mechanic.
Well, all of this stuff is not exclusive to the automotive industry. I understand that people are also doing deception claims with their home insurance policies.
Wow.
Yeah. The deception, especially with homeowners insurance, it tends to be more of lies of omission. They won't tell their insurance company that they have a trampoline or a swimming pool or even certain breeds of dogs, which insurance companies consider dangerous.
Oh.
And by not disclosing this, if your insurance company finds out, they're probably going to non-renew your policy. And right now, it is so hard to get homeowners insurance that facing a non-renewal is just going to make things 6 to 7 times harder for you if you need to shop around and get another policy because it's
more
going to go on your
expensive.
file.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah, and let me just say this about that, especially here in the Houston area with all of our floods, the flood insurance policies, that if you can get one, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So beware.
Well, I have flood insurance.
I do as well.
And we've had it for 20 plus years, and it's a national flood policy, but it's gone from $400 to like $680 since Harvey. It's really elevated in cost.
So let me ask you, how do we prevent these younger Americans, the Gen X's, the Gen Zers, and that sort of stuff, to just be aware and change their perspective of getting insurance?
Lying, cheating, and stealing.
I mean, it's very simple, right? You have to tell them that the more they lie to their insurance companies, the more they defraud them, they're the ones who are going to be paying in the long term, because every loss the insurance company faces, they pass on to us, policyholders, in the form of higher premiums. And I think this is the correct time to talk to people about this because, everyone's grumbling about how expensive every kind of insurance has gotten. Well, then remind them, hey, so maybe let's not commit fraud so that our rates don't go up further. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control economic factors, but we can control how we interact with the insurance company. So maybe let's cut back on fraud. And also just to it's a good time to remind folk that you can get away with it.
Is an uninsured driver committing fraud?
No, they may be breaking the law by being uninsured, depending on which state they're in, but they're not committing fraud.
Okay.
But they're costing my insurance company and me because I pay a prior premium. For uninsured motorist. And so, it seems more often these days, there are a lot of people that don't have insurance. And so then does the insurance company sue them for not having insurance? Or is it just strictly a law thing that I guess that
is a loss?
But I mean, if you have a wreck and the guy doesn't have insurance, does the police officer write them a check for write them a citation for not having insurance?
You will be cited for not having insurance. But while the insurance company can try to sue that person, more like the likelihood of them getting any money out of them is very small because the most uninsured Americans also happen to be very poor.
Can't get blood from a turnip.
But I'll tell you where the uninsured will face penalties. They will when they try to apply for insurance, because if you've been uninsured for a period of time, you will be considered an extremely high-risk driver. So when you apply for insurance, you're going to be charged the highest possible rate.
Well, here in the state of Texas, you have to have insurance on the car before you can get your registration every year. So how do people get around that?
I guess they're probably sharing their car with someone. You have that one wonky brother-in-law who's borrowing your car.
He lives in the basement.
And a lot of times people don't declare that person is driving the car. So, these people can get away with, driving a car without insurance.
Well, plus you can get that insurance card for a month and then cancel the policy.
Yeah.
So that's enough to get you
on the road.
Again.
So let me ask you about another situation. So I got granddaughters that are getting their driver's license and things like that. If they're driving my cars, which my policy will let an occasional driver and it'll cover them, but if I'm letting her drive it to school, to work every day, isn't that a type of fraud? Because if I don't tell my insurance company that I've got a 17-year-old driver now.
Put her on a policy, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, more often than not, the moment there is a licensed teen driver living at your address, the insurance companies will know and they will automatically charge it to your policy. So, if you're a parent of a teenager who's just gotten their license, you're going to get a piece of mail from the insurance company saying that your rates have increased. So the insurance companies are really good about it. But in your case, because it's your granddaughter, you should be disclosing the fact that she's driving it on a regular basis to your insurance company, because if you don't and they find out, not only will they raise your rates, they may put it on your file that you have misled them.
Or cancel your insurance.
Hey, can you handle that for Mike?
If she gets into an accident, they may deny the claim because she wasn't supposed to be driving it to work every day.
Okay. So in other words, Mike, get her out of the dang car.
Get her own.
Let her get her own. No, you buy her own.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than paying insurance.
I will say this, even if you buy her own car, you still have to pay for insurance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the car that you would buy, some $3,000 beater, you don't need. All you need is liability insurance on it. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably still going to be really expensive. So, teenage insurance can set you back thousands of dollars a year, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it because teenage drivers are considered extremely high risk.
Both of mine cost a lot of money.
At least you have a granddaughter instead of grandson, because boys are charged more money than girls.
That's a good point.
There was a point in time when I was a teenager that I was not near as good a driver as I am now.
You're still
not a good driver.
Well, I don't pay $1,000 a month now like I did back then.
That's because you don't have insurance.
I've been with you when you drive. You forget it. You scare me. I don't know how you've made it this long. Divya, where can we go to get more information on all this?
So all you can do is go to www.valuepenguin.com/deceiving-insurers/survey. That's where you can read our report. And, there's a lot of good information in there on what you can do if you've accidentally misled your insurer, because sometimes these are honest mistakes. You may have underquoted the amount of miles you drive per year, and that's normal. Just let your insurance company know. They will appreciate the honesty that you're trying to fix your mistakes. Just don't make it a point to lie to your insurance company to save money.
Divya, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for getting up and talking to us this morning. And stay in touch with us. Let us know what you got next.
Yeah, I will do. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Divya Sangram, and she is with Value Penguin Lending Tree. So she knows her stuff when it comes to that insurance stuff.
We've had her on before.
She's great.
We'll have her on again. Great source
What I like
of
about it
information.
is it's easy to understand her. The way she
explains it properly,
well.
Even we can understand it.
Yep.
That's tough to do.
That is tough to do.
Can be.
Thanks for joining us for today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Time now for the cruise-in calendar. Let's keep it short and give him a minute. Here's Conrad.
So again, one of the cruise-ins next weekend is Coffee and Cars at the Woodlands High School. We just had them on.
Yep.
Nifty 50s is tonight at 5 p.m. in the Woodlands off Buckthorn Place. And that's running from 5 to 10 p.m. Smooth Nights in Mount Bellevue Park is tonight at 6 p.m., and that's off of Eagle Drive in Mount Bellevue.
What's so funny?
Just wondering, is that where the police found you that night?
In Mount Bellevue.
Mind. In the park.
And this is all depending on rain. If it rains, these are probably postponed or canceled.
And then also tonight at 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. is the Paul Walker Memorial Car Meet at Phase Tech Performance on North Eldridge Parkway. Sinton Fiddlers Fest and Bike and Car Show.
Wait a minute. Repeat that.
Sinton, S-I-N-T-O-N.
Sinton
Fiddlers.
It's down towards Corpus, isn't it?
Sinton Fiddlers
is in Sinton, Texas.
Yeah, it's down by south of here.
It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. BMW Houston meet at the parking garage at 16011 Katy Freeway for BMW Cruise In only. That's 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then the 14th Hot Rod Picnic at Carbide Park in Lamarck is tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then, and finally is, again, the 17th Annual Heroes and Hot Rods Veterans Day weekend, October 11th and 10th and 11th in downtown Bastrop. And we'll have Bill on shortly.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. Available trim levels include the Blue, SEL Premium, and the Limited. I had the Limited all-wheel drive. This is considered a small SUV, seats 5 people, including the driver. Exterior changes from last model year, not much. Exterior features, overall sharp design with a weird headlight array. I don't know how else to put it. It just looks weird. To me. It's attractive. It's not unattractive. It's just weird. It's different. Black molding on the wheel well openings. Rear lower valance has a satin metal look to it. Clean rear hatch. There's not a lot of accoutrements. They didn't decorate the Christmas tree a lot back there.
Or over-decorate, yeah.
Yeah. What I liked, not overdone with bling. I do like the clean look, always have. What could use improvement? Not a fan of those particular wheels, but that's a personal choice that I think most people just accept whatever the factory puts on there for wheels. And okay, I got it. If you don't like them, go trade them. Interior highlights. Sharp design elements throughout the cabin. Radio, HVAC, push-button shifter, all at the top of the center console in its own little pod, which is an interesting way to put it. Nice faux leather, 10.3-inch infotainment screen, cargo and trunk room, plenty. What I liked about it, the overall layout. Now, as far as power is concerned, it's generated by a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that, when it comes to the horsepower and the electric, it's rated at 226 horsepower combined.
Oh.
Okay? This is not a plug-in. This is just a hybrid. So it has a battery that the engine charges while it's running, and when it's going, oh, well, I can save some energy here, then it uses the electric motor to do that.
Very cool.
6-speed automatic transmission on this all-wheel drive model. It will tow 1 ton.
That's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot, 2,000 pounds. Now, miles per gallon. It's rated at 33 city, 30 highway for a combined of 32. I got 31 over 433.5 miles. I drove it a lot. I liked it. What I liked about the engine, it's a nice combination between the engine and the transmission. It's a great combination with that 226 horsepower is not too little. It's not too much. It's
adequate.
Just right.
Thanks, Goldilocks.
With the 6-speed automatic transmission. As far as ride and handling, smooth sailing in this car. What it could use improvement, don't touch a thing. Don't mess with it. It's good just as it is. Don't jack with it. Okay, as far as pricing is concerned, the base trim price on this is $41,570. Price as tested, $43,115. To me, that's a sweet. Not
that much.
To me, this is a sweet spot when it comes to pricing. Base model price is $36,210. Now, as far as competitors are concerned, The Kia Sportage Hybrid starts at $27,490. The Honda CR-V Hybrid, $34,645. It's more close in price than any of the others when it comes to base model price. And the Ford Escape Hybrid starts at $41,995. So they're all right in there. They're all priced relatively alike, and they're also under the small hybrid category.
But this one is bigger than an Escape.
It is, by a little bit. None of them are huge. These are,
No.
but this is if you're out looking for a new SUV, then this might be something for you.
Well, and it's interesting. This has a 6-speed automatic versus the CVT.
Yep.
Because so many of them have a CVT, which I don't know why, but I think it has something
but
to do with
226
putting the
horsepower
power to ground.
Yep, 226 horsepower with that combo. Just it's sweet. It hits the sweet spot.
And towing the 2,000 pounds, what do you lose? You're going to lose a little.
A little, but not a lot. And you don't have to plug it in.
Yeah.
You don't have to jack with it.
That's to me an important part.
Well, it is, but you also pay for that. And remember, it's not, the mileage isn't off the wall, off the charts here. It's not 40 or 50 miles per gallon. So you can buy actually a gasoline engine without the hybrid capability with almost that kind of mileage.
Wow.
So you need to do your shopping and your homework on that one, is my suggestion. I want to remind you that the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app or the iHeart app. We're having a discussion in the studio these days about whether we can call ourselves radio. And David set that bomb off on it because we're not radio. We can be radio if you stream us into your car through your Bluetooth.
But we're not terrestrial radio.
We're not terrestrial radio.
But we are aliens.
You have to look at the definition.
But you also have to look at the fact that iHeart is using terrestrial radio to get iHeart on the air and profitable for the first time in its history. And so they're using radio, which we think as terrestrial radio, as radio. It's not.
And we're extraterrestrial.
We are definitely
and
that.
I'm confused.
Be that.
Dazed and confused.
We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube at InWheelTime.com. Podcast at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets available in the world. How many countries?
40 countries.
40 countries. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on inwheeltime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise Inn, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora,